The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to Dueling Comedians, where two comedians clash to see whose comedy kills and who gets killed.
Figuratively speaking, of course.
All this to determine who claims the coveted Dueling Comedians Trophy. This is Dueling Comedians.
This is Tony V, and if you don't want to be listening to Dueling Comedians, you should stop doing it right now, because from now on, what's going to be coming out is a thing called Dueling Comedians.
Adversarial.
Yes. I can feel the tension already with this one. Sitting to my right, and I don't know what your orientation is Jim Whitman.
Hi, everybody.
Fellow Charlestonian.
That's true.
Yes.
Born and raised.
I wasn't even born and raised in Charlestown, and they won't let me get away with that. Before we get too deep into this, let me introduce you to my sidekick. This is Laugh Track Larry over there.
Larry, my main man.
At the boards.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
You all right today, Larry? You seem a little down.
I don't know, Tony. I mean, I kind of feel like we're shaking shit up with this show.
Yeah.
So I'm a little shaken.
You're a little shaken, not stirred?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. All right, as long as we keep that going. And Larry is the judge and jury when it comes to the duel. At the tail end of this show, Jim Whitman.
Is he partial?
No.
We don't.
I have a keen sense of humor.
Yeah, he does. He's got his ear tuned to what's hip for the day.
All right.
You know.
I know funny.
Yeah, he knows funny. This is the Dueling Comedians Coveted Trophy, which we'll be vying for in a little bit.
It looks sharp. It's real, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You know, Larry just reminded me of something. I have an old friend of mine who used to do stand-up comedy, and when I started out, we would work. A lot of Chinese restaurants had stand-up comedy. Still do, but there was the mainstay. And he one time had the owner of Johnny Yee's down the Cape. We used to do shows regularly down there. This buddy of mine came off stage, and Johnny Yee looked at him. He goes, "I know funny. You know funny."
It's a reality check right there.
Yeah, right there. And that was a sobering thought right there.
How was the ride home?
He took it in stride. He knew he was funny. But he was the kind of guy that this friend of mine, Tom Bailey, he would either destroy a room or walk a room. There was no middle ground.
Oh, that's perfect.
They would either build statues to him, or people would be going, "That's the dumbest thing." It was uncanny. How did you, Jim Whitman, get into stand-up comedy?
Oh, it was a craving of attention.
Like all of us, something wrong with you.
Sure. And I figured that the world needed to hear these sweet pipes.
Yes.
And then I was around it. You know, I lived with a guy for a while who does it.
You have a brother.
I got a couple, but one of them does it.
What's your other brother do?
I'm one of six. I'm the baby.
You're the baby?
I'm a beautiful baby boy.
Now, your brother Mike Whitman, who also is a stand-up comedian and has done this show.
That's right.
He has.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to have him first, but I knew you were younger.
I gave him notes.
Yeah, and I didn't want to, usurp the order of the Whitman family.
Mm-hmm.
There's six of you.
There's six. Yeah.
Yeah. Ages?
One girl, and then the boys.
No.
Yeah.
Girl at the top?
Girl at the top.
And then
I brought up the end.
Wow. And what's the span? What's the age range?
So I think,
were you an oops or?
Oh, aren't we all?
No. Well, I don't know. I can't imagine I was planned.
I can't imagine anyone planning on having six.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. But I was 5 years separated from everyone else. Everyone else is probably 2-3 years apart.
Okay, so they came pretty rapid succession, and then they went, our lives are already screwed. Why not do it again?
And there were people in the house to take care of me. People thought my sister was my mother for a while.
Oh, yeah. How much older is she than you?
14.
14 years. Yeah. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? And do you get along still?
They're all distant cousins to me, you know. I was an only child growing up at that point.
Oh, because they were all out of the house and gone.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And what's the age difference between you and Mike Whitman?
He's 5.
He's 5 years older than you.
Right.
You know, you seem much more mature than he.
It's the strong jawline.
Yeah, you think that's what it is? Thanks. I couldn't put my finger on it.
And
But
I
that must
voted
be it.
twice, so right off the bat.
Wow, you
Mike's
got it
considering
all
it.
over him.
Yeah.
So, and what drew you to stand up?
That's a good question. Broadway never called. I don't know. I always like to tell goofs every now and then. We grew up watching movies all the time that were just funny. We didn't really have stand up.
What's your favorite comedy movie?
Vacation or Airplane.
Oh, good,
or Naked
good
Gun.
pick.
Yeah.
The Naked Guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I tried to watch. I didn't try. We actually did succeed in watching Stripes
Okay.
the other day with Bill Murray, and one of my all-time favorite movies. And I was watching with young Gus Viveris,
Sure. Yeah.
and he said one of the most astute things. He goes, "I could tell this was funny when it was made." You know, in other words, it didn't hold
carry
up.
over?
It
No,
didn't hold up.
Well, there wasn't
You know.
many 35-year-olds joining the service, right?
Yeah.
Or
And
were
when
they 35, or were they just not living well?
they were not living well, and
All
I
right.
think, they were certainly older, but the whole platoon seemed older
Yeah,
than
they
it
took
should
anybody.
be.
Yeah.
Like John Candy, who was tipping the scales way more than would be acceptable in a non-fighting situation.
By choice. It wasn't genetic.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But they accepted him into the army.
They needed numbers. The draft had ended, 10 years before that?
Yeah,
and
at
the
least,
morale
right.
was low.
Right. Right. Look, I can see if you're in an armed conflict.
Yeah.
You got to take anybody.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Can you breathe and walk?
I keep submitting to the JAG Corps, but
They don't want you.
I don't know if it's just I'm emailing the wrong address or what it is, but at Navy.
Yeah. Well, if you have anything to do with the JAG Corps, please.
Those are the ones that fly, right?
Jim Whitman. That's the.
Oh, that's a CBS show.
That's the CBS. Yeah.
I want to be the.
JAG is the initials for something.
They're the lawyers.
The lawyers, Judiciary Adjutant something.
Oh, like Tom
Agitators.
Cruise.
Yeah, like Tom Cruise in Top Gun, only without the planes and the hot chicks.
So A Few Good Men, then.
Yeah. Yes, with
There
less
we go.
screaming. Yeah. So when you started doing comedy,
Yep.
did you follow in anybody's footsteps? Did you like anybody? Did you want to be like anyone? Or
Well, because of the older brother, I started going up with a different last name just so I could go to open mics and try to disassociate.
what
but
was your what last name did you use?
I just used Riley.
Riley.
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
picked Riley out of the.
Yeah. Well, it was my mother's maiden name.
Oh, okay.
And then you couldn't escape our physical voice is the same, so it wasn't.
Yeah, your speech pattern is.
Yeah, we got that from our mother
Yeah.
too. It's the same thing.
Although, yeah, your mother has the same speech pattern as you too. Oh, that's got to be insane.
She's a wonderful singer.
Yeah. Sang around the house a lot, did she?
Nonstop.
Yeah. And I also not, I guess, as important, but in another vein, you have a new baby.
Oh yeah.
You
yeah.
have Wiley.
You didn't tell me it was so easy raising a newborn.
I try to warn people that everyone will try to talk you out of it, and it's
a fog. Like we're in a fog right now with
Yeah.
the smoke. But for 9 months, it might as well be last Tuesday, but it was 9 months. Holy cow!
yeah. You don't know whether you're coming or going.
No,
You're
not
on their
even a little
schedule.
bit.
Right.
No. So he's in charge.
Yeah. You sleep when they sleep. You eat when
Yep.
you can, and stuff like
And
that.
the kid refuses to sleep. He's super cool.
He's not a good sleeper.
No.
Not a good sleeper at all. Didn't get that part.
No. He doesn't want to.
He-
There's too much on TV that he doesn't want to miss.
Right.
And
Well, there's a lot going on when you're that young.
Right. Yeah. Everything's new.
Everything, right? Like, I often think about that with babies. Like, they don't know that there's a pattern to life.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So, like, every day they wake up and they go, "Oh, this must be what life is today."
Every single day.
Yeah, every day.
Well, they don't understand that I'm trying to help them. I mean, he's got to eat, and I'm trying to feed him, but Lord, if he doesn't push that bottle away. I think I'm
Doesn't
nursing,
eat,
I'm
doesn't
nursing him
sleep.
wrong. I think that's the problem, yeah.
Wow, another one that flew by. That music right there?
Yeah.
That means we're going to a break.
Oh, okay.
And then when we come back, the duel will start.
We'll stretch it out. All right.
And we'll tell people how to find you on the
On the
magic.
on the interwebs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dueling Comedians will be back.
Yeah, you want to know what Lenny Clark has to say about Two Guys Smoke Shop?
Those two guys, that Two Guys Smoke Shop, they're the nicest guys. And I'll tell you, sometimes you go into a cigar store, you really don't know what you're looking for. It's very intimidating. And a lot of times, people have a tendency to be arrogant with you, like they know it all. The guys up at the Two Guys Smoke Shop, if you're a first-time smoker or you're looking for a great, go in and see them. They'll put you at ease. They'll make you feel at home. They'll get you the best cigar you can get for the best deal. You can't beat it. And then whenever I'm in New Hampshire again, if I'm in high-speed police chase or something, I'll stop in and have a smoke with those two guys.
Why, thank you, Lenny Clark.
Wow, that was a short break.
Yep.
Yeah, and geez, I hope your grilled cheese made it brown on both sides.
Well, if the microwave's good, it's quick.
Yeah. Can you brown things in a microwave?
It depends. If you put on 69 seconds, that'll brown most things.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
Lobster mostly.
Do you ever put a live lobster in there? Do they explode?
Just for fun.
Yeah. Not you're eating lobsters. You wouldn't.
Oh, I would never touch it.
No, you wouldn't waste an eating lobster in a microwave. That'd be foolish.
It depends if Market Basket's got a sale.
Foolish.
Yeah.
Now, if people wanted to get a hold of you on social media, how would they do that?
On the internet, I'm the at symbol Jimmy Witt on Twitter.
1T?
Yes, 1T.
Okay.
Yeah. Witty.
I see what you did there.
You see?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a combination of names and adjectives and
Yeah.
whatnot.
You ever think of what your street name would be, like if you were,
Yep.
or a thug or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
What,
Tommy McStabbins.
Tommy McStabbins is good.
Yep.
Mine is Poppy T. Lovin'.
Right.
Yeah, that's
It's important to let people know what you're about to do
Yes.
before you get there.
right.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
It used to be Hugger, but then
Okay, that gives a whole different connotation right there, doesn't it?
Doesn't
Yeah.
suggest tough.
Yeah. And when you do your stand up,
Yep.
Any influences or what makes you laugh?
Absurdity, I think. What's anything that's not take my wife please stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're gonna hate my next section.
That's why I came up here.
You knew you were gonna be the last one we taped today.
Yes.
Or digitized or whatever we do now.
I figured kick you when you're
He'll
exhausted.
be done, right?
Yeah.
He's already done 4 shows. I'll get him when he's down to his wife jail.
Yeah, he's got nothing left.
This
anything-
trophy is on the line for sure. Yeah.
Anything anything that people try too hard, it's got to come naturally.
That seems like a generational thing to me too.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like for a while it was joke, and then it became jokes within stories.
Yep.
And now I find younger people, and I always put the at the end of it because everyone's young to me.
Sure.
But younger comedians who came up behind when I started, like if an audience smells a joke, they will run from it.
Yeah.
It's
People
like,
are always-
geez, a gag. You know what I mean? It all has to be this ironic thing.
They got to be in tune.
Yeah.
I find that people are very quiet listeners at most shows I'm at. Observational.
That made me laugh. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to hit this button up
Yes.
here, and then you're going to hear music, and then you're going to tell whatever joke you want to do or gag, and when you think you're done, you hit the button.
All right, my juggling balls are in the car.
All right, you want me to give you a minute?
Just 2 minutes.
Okay.
So you and I go, or you go?
No, you
on
go.
that? Okay. Yeah, I love it. It's baseball season again.
It is.
You like the sport?
Yeah, I do.
All right. I like it so
Avid
much.
fan.
I read about it.
You read about
Yeah.
baseball.
I've had an entry-level job now for 13 years or so it gives you time to read on the internet at work. But I've been reading about Vlad Guerrero because his son's up in the league.
Oh,
now.
yes.
Yeah. They like to hit dingers. And they got a little fun fact about Vlad. He not only was an awesome batter, but he used to urinate on his hands. And the theory was that he explained was that it would strengthen his hands so when he would hit home runs, it wouldn't hurt so much, right?
Oh.
So this millionaire, rather than buy a pair of batting gloves, would urinate on his hands. And it leads me to believe, Tony, that was simply the first thing he thought of when he was walked in on. Oh, right.
I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news at all, but people are dying up on Mount Everest.
Yes, yeah.
There is there's a waiting line.
Yep.
To get to the top of Mount Everest.
That's right.
The most remote place on the planet. There's a waiting line. It's not
alone.
a deli.
Nope.
You don't take a number, right? And the thing I like about the whole situation is they keep blaming the mountain. They go, oh, Mount Everest is a daunting, desolate place. It has killed over 19 people. It hasn't done a fucking thing.
It's just there.
It's just sitting there. It's just a huge hunk of dirt. It can't hurt you if you're not on it. Like, I dare to say you could stand at the foot of Mount Everest and taunt it.
Yes.
It couldn't do anything to you.
Not even if it tried.
No, you go, hey, big pussy mountain, I'm right here. Come and get some of this.
And it's just because it's a mountain.
Yeah.
You think people are dying because they're falling down and trampling everyone on the way down?
I couldn't hear you over that uproarious laugh.
Well, people are dying. Is it one guy up top that falls and just cascades domino style?
Like pushes
nobody can get out of the way.
down.
They got to spread out over the mountain. They got room.
People are actually stepping over dead people to get to the top. Wouldn't it be some sort of a sign?
Imagine dying doing what you love like that. Walking in the winter. All right, where are we at?
You got to do it.
Yeah. Let's see what gem I'm going to hit him with. So we were bragging about how I gave birth earlier in the fall.
Yes, you had a baby.
Yeah, my wife, she's a trooper. She did the whole thing.
Everything?
Everything. Yeah, I was there. I watched the whole thing. She got the epidural, which I recommend. 10 out of 10. A lot of people like poo-poo the whole not natural thing, but whew, juicy up. They're pushing a lot now for recreational marijuana in the country, but I'm saying rec ep all the way. That's all I got.
Is that it? Is that done? All right. Sometimes you got to let me know when they're done.
Yeah. You got to play off
Larry sometimes, because of his exuberance, he's not sure.
He's tone deaf.
He's sure. Yeah.
I was right there. It's a work in progress.
You reminded me of something that happened a few years back. There was a 7-year-old girl who died flying a plane. I don't know if you recall this.
Oh, they gave her a license, huh?
Yeah, no, her dad said it was okay. And he was with her, and he decided to let her fly this plane across country. And the mother, after they both died, said, well, at least she died doing something she loved.
Sure.
At 7. This is how that conversation would have went in my house if my kid was 7. Daddy, can I fly the plane across the country? No.
You're a hard ass, though. You didn't even give him a chance to think about it?
No.
All right, so I hit it now.
That settles it.
Oh, that's over. The fight's over?
Yeah, no, we got
one
a couple more.
All right, so the kids thing, you got to be a lot to be worried about up here. Now, the guns is a big thing, right? We're up in New Hampshire, gun friendly. Now they can print your own guns at home, 3D guns. And I guess those are super dangerous, but I always thought the bullets looked like they were just coming at you. They weren't really there. 3D jokes, huh?
I got you. Shit. Well, I'm not a big gun guy.
Thank God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not to say I wouldn't kill somebody. I just wouldn't use a gun.
All right. All goes back to your street thugness.
That's it. Yeah, no, go.
Oh, come on now.
No, you got one more.
I got one more.
You got one more in you.
I got to stick the landing.
You got to do it.
Before we got married, or before we had the baby, we got married, right? And I don't know if you guys have ever been married before, but if you're popular, people come and they just give you money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Right. All you had to do was just say, I do. Like, I don't know why people wait so long to get married. Like, why do you have the same conversation every Sunday of just, where is this going? What is this? What are we? Tears in the eyes every Sunday. Eventually she said yes, but why did we wait so long to get married? Huh?
Now you hit the button now. I know it takes a while to get into the thing. I was driving the other day. I'm going back to driving here, and I got cut off by the same guy 4 times.
Come on.
You ever have that happen?
Well, I haven't driven in a perfect figure 8 in a long time.
Yeah, this guy would cut me off. He'd go for coffee. He'd come and find me again. You know, it was just like he had it on his day planner. Cut off Tony. You know what I mean? I don't know where or what he was doing that day, but he had to be there a tenth of a second ahead of me.
All right.
You know what I mean? So I pull up next to the guy, and I, you know, I'm going to ask him just how many times he plans on cutting me off, just so I can plan my day out.
Sure.
You know? So I give him the universal roll down your window sign, which is, you know, the rotating thing. Although none of us have actually rolled down a window like that in about 25 years.
Especially with the opposing hand if you're driving.
But if you went up to somebody and just wiggled your finger at him, it would give him the wrong sense of where you were going with that.
That's true. He'll cut you off.
That buzzing me down. Yeah.
Wow, this is great.
Yeah.
Time of my life.
Yeah, that was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It flies by, too. It really does. Larry, I know we haven't given you much time, but did you make a determination? You needed a second to think about it?
I thought you were going to say you didn't give me much to work with.
No, you always give me plenty to work with, Larry. I mean, it's, you know, what you do for me in this show can't be calculated in words.
Sure.
It's indeed and heart.
I'm touched.
Yeah.
Some things are left best unsaid, right?
Yeah.
Forgive me if I sound emotional. So, I found the urinating on the hands.
You enjoyed that?
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a fetish.
That's a good one.
Oh, my. Peeing is funny.
Anytime you can pee on anything, it's funny, except for third rails.
All right, then.
Oh, God, I don't like the way that's... I don't like the way this is going.
I'm rooting for you, Tony. I've been a Tony supporter.
In spite of the high-quality urine humor,
Tony
V is the
I keep the
winner.
trophy. Jim, I got to say...
You earned it, buddy.
It was great. It was a lot of fun. Flew by. How do they get a hold of you again?
At Jimmy Witt on the Twitter.
At Jimmy Witt on Twitter.
Yep.
I'm Tony V at TonyV.com. Please like us on Facebook here at Dueling Comedians, or on YouTube's or Instagram
Everywhere.
or Twitter or whatever.
Perfect.
All right, thanks. Keep coming back.
I hope I look good.
You look fantastic.
Thanks, man.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.